That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about Driveways, the sophomore film from Andrew Ahn, which premiered at the 2019 Berlin International Film Festival in the Generation K sidebar. And it will be available on digital and on demand May 8th, 2020, courtesy of Film Rise.
This person's first film?
Was Spa Night in 2016, which I believe competed at the Sundance Film Festival, which you saw at least part of.
Yeah, I remember it being a quiet film.
Yeah,
but interesting. Mm-hmm. This film is about a woman and her young son having to clean out her older sister's home after she dies.
Yes.
And in the process, they develop a relationship. Her and her son develop a relationship with the neighbor man who is a veteran of foreign war.
Korean.
The Korean War, mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's what you call them, right? Veteran of foreign war?
Sure.
That's what the VFW means?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
But specifically, he's a Korean veteran. So yeah.
He's a Korean vet. Anyway.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
Actually, I quite liked the film. I liked Andrew Ahn's first film. He's working with a bigger, more notable cast. It's a first-time screenplay from Hannah Boss and Paul Thureen, first-time narrative screenplay. It's also one of the last performances you'll see from Brian Dennehy, who recently passed away.
Which one was he?
He's Del, the
main guy?
The Korean War veteran.
Oh, he passed away?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just pointed, and we actually just watched FX2, which I pointed him out in there. Yes.
Well, rest in peace. Mm-hmm. What's his name again? Brian Dennehy?
Brian Dennehy. Yeah.
I would say he's my favorite part of the film.
I like him. I thought Chau was really good. Who's Kathy, the mom.
Okay.
She is probably heretofore best known for the comic relief in Downsizing, an Alexander Payne film I couldn't stand, that she got a Golden Globe nod for. The little boy, Lucas Jaye, plays Cody. Obviously relative newcomer. I think the performances from all three leads are quite excellent.
Yeah, I agree. I think the writing is very strong. The story, it's simple, but it's sweet.
It is very simple, but there are lots of kind of quiet emotional peaks because the dead sister is a hoarder, and they're basically mother and son are living on the porch because they can't afford to stay in a hotel anymore. To ready
so
this
the
house.
film starts with the mom, Kathy. Mm-hmm. So Kathy transcribes like medical notes for doctors.
Yes.
So she makes a living doing that. They live in New York. Mm-hmm. So she's barely getting by. She wants to go to nursing school. So she's kind of on the struggle bus. Mm-hmm. Her sister dies, leaves her this home, but she has to go handle it. So she only intends on spending like 4 days in Michigan. But when she gets there, realizes her sister was a hoarder. So she's a little overwhelmed. There's a good scene where she goes to the real estate agent, played by
Robyn Payne from Pose.
Who's she in Pose?
Her name is Sue in Pose. That's all I...
Oh, I don't recall her. I liked her though. Mm-hmm. She employs a real estate agent to help her unload this home. And when they go to do a walkthrough, Kathy becomes emotional. I think just trying to take in because it's very layered. I think the story's very simple, but that component of her sister being a hoarder, I think, added a nice texture because it's like we understand that she was kind of estranged from her sister because years prior, when their dad became sick, Kathy had to take care of the dad, and she assumed that her older sister, who had a home and was more stable, would do it. So they were already estranged, and then she passes. So she really. It's just so textured. I really like that aspect of the story. But through her relationship with the neighbor guy, she decides that... So the question is, does she want to stay in this small town, in this home, or sell it and move on? Mm-hmm. So Brian Dennehy plays the neighbor. We're introduced to him because the little boy's kind of curious, and there's an interaction early on where it's not clear if the old man kind of sprayed the kid. But we come to find out that the kid likes the old man.
Yeah. They share a bond.
And the kid, so I know we're not supposed to sexualize little kids, but the kid, I'm assuming because the director's gay,
Yeah.
Like a gay Asian man.
Yeah.
The little boy, to me, based on something that other characters say, maybe is led to believe that he might be like a little queer kid. Like he's just different.
He's painted as a
sweet, sensitive soul.
Yeah, he's like he has his birthday party, and the only person that he really wants to show up is Brian Dennehy, who almost doesn't, which is also...
Well, he's also very mature.
Yes, he's also very mature. And then Brian Dennehy's daughter, I believe, is a lesbian. So I think whether or not Cody...
Brian Dennehy's character says, you remind me a lot of my daughter,
yes,
who's a lesbian.
And whether or not Cody is... gay, or he's not old enough to even,
it doesn't matter. It's just that he's different and sensitive, and
it doesn't matter. But I think with the Brian Dennehy character has looked back on his life, I think we're led to believe, and things that he missed out on probably telling his daughter.
Well, he says he regrets.
Somebody that having a child that's different in some kind of way, whether or not Cody's gay.
Right. So to kind of spoil the film, I guess, or to spoil the film, the Brian Dennehy's daughter, who's also a judge and lives in Seattle, decides that because her father's, advanced in age, she wants him to be closer to her. So she wants him to sell the house, pack up, and come live closer to her. So he does, which causes sort of the young boy is hurt by it.
Yeah, because they have made a decision
they developed
to stay.
a friendship. Well, yes, and then they had decided that they're going to stay partially because of how the boy is thriving, living next to this older man. And it's not quite clear. So then, once he tells the boy gets upset, but then they kind of have a final scene where they, share a nice moment. And then the final scene is the boy playing with like two of the neighbor kids who he's kind of connected with. So I think the assumption is that they're staying.
So what didn't you like?
I thought the acting was excellent, particularly the three main characters. I think the writing's excellent. There are a couple of characters who didn't match that level of quality acting.
Finesse.
Yeah, particularly there's like a old neighbor lady, this old white lady who's nosy as hell.
Who's actually a notable character actress, Christine Ebersole. She was in Amadeus, and I believe she's Macaulay Culkin's mom in Richie Rich.
Okay.
Been a few things.
I'm sure she's fine, but the way that character's written, which, is probably accurate, is this kind of obnoxious, nosy, makes like some pseudo-racist comments.
By saying like, I don't mean to be racist, or I'm not racist.
I just thought it was a little, for how well nuanced this film is, her character seemed a little crunchy. And then she has like her grandchildren who come over to like play with, or she wants
Cody to play
with them. Those characters were written a little crunchy too to me. And then his two little friends. So what I like about Cody's character is normally I don't like kids, period, but also like precocious kids annoy me. But Cody is like written to be very smart, but he's not he's like the kind of smart kid you'd want to be around. So he's written so well, but then the two little friends he makes, they're also like very sort of like smart, sort of thoughtful children, and they read a little like I don't know, like out of a commercial, like like they were auditioning for a commercial. So those pieces didn't work well for me, but other than that, I really liked the film.
Shout out to do you remember the movie Deadly Manor, which we watched somewhat recently? It was an Arrow Video release.
Yes.
The crazy lady at the end. She's in this movie.
That's
Jennifer Delora. I believe she's the person handing out the bingo cards at the VFW.
Funny you mentioned that because I thought she looked like Carol Baskin.
Yeah, I could see that too. But yeah,
she could play Carol Baskin.
She could play Carol Baskin
with Nicolas Cage.
I don't think she's famous enough, but yes, Jennifer Delora. Also, the film really reminds me of this 2014 movie called St. Vincent with Melissa McCarthy and Bill Murray, which is exactly the same setup but plays to all the cliches that this scenario has. Like she has a son, and the son makes friends with the curmudgeon next door, and fill in all the blanks. So I really appreciate that this was, actually quite subtle and moving in all the right places.
What would you give it?
3.5 out of 5.
I would give it 3.5 out of 5. Bye.
Bye.